another story time, so sit down, grab your popcorn, grab your puppies, grab whatever you want to do this story time. Yes, whatever they want, tell them. Okay, so before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications so you don't miss an upload. Okay, so I know what you're thinking. Alectra, you don't have a ponytail in, you don't have a bun in, you don't have pigtails in. Yeah, I decided to go completely natural today. No makeup, no hair. I just wanted to go natural today just because I feel like it. It's really important to remember to be yourself. I know that like doing my hair a certain way and doing my makeup a certain way is still being myself, but I also like to remind myself of my natural beauty sometimes just because it's nice. I have pretty curly hair, I have nice clear face, and I don't know, I just wanted to remind myself of all of that. So if you did see my live that I did today on my Instagram, you noticed that. Second, before we get started, I did want to remind you guys, I know you're also thinking, where is the regular Sunday videos? I miss my Sunday videos. Your Sunday videos will be back, but I couldn't get a Sunday video out this week just because my editor is out camping. So Tyler, hey, what's up, dude? He's out camping right now, so there's no internet to edit my videos, so I thought I'll just put up another story time. Today we are accompanied by the puppies. One puppy just left me, but Piggy's here too. Piggy, say hi. Piggy, come here, say hi. This is Piggy, guys. She's one of my favorites. But yeah, so today's story time will be about the time I went to middle school and got bullied. Yes, and fun fact, I actually used to look like this in middle school. I didn't wear any makeup in middle school. I also didn't know how to do my hair. That was just something that I think girls with curly hair at a young age also go through. You don't know how to do your hair. You don't know what to do with your hair. It's very confusing. And middle school is a very confusing time as well. But I just wanted to give you guys a story on what I went through through middle school. It was pretty... Twizzy, don't you bark. I'm filming. Your auntie's filming. I call myself their auntie because they like me. But anyway, so I have all of my notes right here of what I wanted to go through. So I moved out to OC when I was, I believe, 10. And I went to school in Westminster. If you guys know where that is, that's pretty cool. I think I might put the hair up really quick. But I went to school in Westminster. I was the new kid, and they didn't make it easy on me. Twizzy! No! I might have to put Twizzy outside, guys. But yeah, the Westminster kids did not make it easy on me. It was pretty tough. Twizzy! Guys, I just might have to put Twizzy outside. He's scratching on the door. Twizzy, come here! Come here, Twizzy! Come here, Twiz! Guys, hold on. If he scratches on the door one more time, I'm gonna have to take him outside. But yeah, like I said, I didn't make much friends at first. My first day at middle school. So the Westminster kids didn't make it easy at all. I didn't make any friends my first week of... I was in elementary school at this point. They didn't make it easy for me, and yeah, I didn't make friends my first week of elementary school. And then luckily I did start to make friends, but there was a group of girls, really pretty girls too, that just didn't like me. I don't know why. I didn't hang out with them. I had one or two friends, and I literally did not hang out with these girls, didn't know them, and they just didn't like me. Like, they would always make fun of my hair and the poof ball hair, which I love my hair now, but the girls used to make me feel really insecure for not having straight hair. Just having straight hair, like every girl out here just seemed to have straight hair, and they would make me feel bad for not having that. But you know, it's whatever now. But I did start to hate myself at a young age because of that, and I know a lot of kids still go through that, so I hope that my story and my advice helps a lot of you guys. So yeah, and then I left that school. I got suspended. I got suspended, and I'm not telling why. That is a whole different story time, okay? If you guys really want that story, post this video on Instagram and tag me and tell me you want the story of how and why I got suspended from my Westminster elementary school. It's a pretty funny story. I'm a hard-ass kid, guys. I'm hard. Anyway, so then I moved to Huntington Beach to go to school. So I moved to Huntington Beach to go to school, and now it's time for middle school. My first year of middle school was pretty easy. I made a lot of friends at first. I had a lot of friends. You could say that I was in the popular group this time around, and it was also middle school. Everyone was really nice, and I got to be there on the first day of when middle school started. So instead of hopping into a school year that had already started, I was starting at the same time all these other kids were, and it was really easy for me to make friends. I'm a pretty easygoing person, so it's always been really easy for me to make friends, but as I got older, I realized that I never really wanted to make friends as I got older. But so skip to 7th grade, because 6th grade was really cool. It was fun. Skip to 7th grade, my best friend moved. So I didn't have my best friend anymore. My best friend was the glue of that group. So I decided, you know, I'm not going to hang out with them anymore because I never really liked the other girls that were in the group. They were kind of mean to me anyway. So I went off to go make my own friends in 7th grade. And my friend Angie, who I met in 7th grade, Angie, if you're watching this, hey girl, hey! I love Angie. We still talk to this day. Sometimes I'll go over to her house once in like a blue moon. But I still love her. She is a big supporter of mine. Not saying like, oh my god, she's a fan. She's not a fan. She's always supported me. Because even in middle school, I had, I think, 20K followers in middle school. So, you know, I started out pretty young, but she always supported me. And I absolutely adore her and love her for that. And I freaking love her family. They were always there for me, as wild as they can get. So yeah, so Angie was a friend of, she was my new best friend. I loved her. And then we got another friend named Mia, and Mia had to leave the school under other. Middle school is a really hard, tough time. I don't want to say why this girl had to leave the school, but it was for, she was hurting herself. But that's all I want to touch on that, and that is a whole nother story in itself. I had to be the one to save her, which was also really sad because I lost her from saving her. But that's another story in itself. Middle school is a very tough time, and I want you guys to know that you're not alone. For the kids who feel really sad, or the kids who feel alone, or the kids who are eating by themselves at lunch, let me tell you now. Let me tell you right now, be kind to everyone in middle school, please. If you are a fan of mine and you watch me, please, please, please be kind to the kids in middle school. Middle school is a hard and confusing time for everyone. So let's make it easier on ourselves and just be nice to everyone else. No matter if that kid is weird, or if she is always wearing the same clothes every day, please, please, please be nice to each other. It would mean a lot. Okay, so 7th grade, I had my best friend, right? And then my other best friend who had to leave because of other reasons. And 7th grade was cool. I mean, I was getting made fun of here and there, but it was something that I could take. It wasn't like, it didn't get really bad. The bullying never got bad in 6th or 7th grade. It was never bad until 8th grade. And 8th grade is when, you know, you're about to become a teenager. You got one more year till you become a teenager. Some of you are 13, some of you are 14, and so, you know, now all that testosterone is building up, you know what I mean? But I still was friends with Angie. Angie was my best friend. We would always walk to school together, or her dad would drop us off, or he would pick us up, or we would walk home together. Like, she was my best friend. And 8th grade, me and Angie didn't have any classes together, so now I was alone in each and every class. So, you know, she was my best friend, and we had classes together in 7th grade and 8th grade. we didn't have any classes, so it was pretty tough on me. So I tried to make friends in other classes, and I couldn't really do it. It was tough on me. A lot of people judged me based off of my social media, because at the time now in 8th grade I probably had like 30K, probably maybe 30K, and so people would they would pull up my videos on YouTube, or they would pull up my Instagram videos and they would sing the songs I was singing, like, just to make fun of me, and it really hurt. And I know, like, now that I'm older, looking back at it, it's something that I could easily ignore, but it hurt really, really bad. And I did commercials too, so like my teachers would see my commercials on TV and then come to school and be like, oh, I saw you on this commercial, Alectra, and I was like, thanks. And then they would pull it up and all the kids would make fun of me, and it's like, I loved doing what I do. I loved doing what I did too back then, but it's the kids around me made me feel so insignificant, made me feel as if I was stupid for doing the things that I did, as if I would never make it anywhere as well. And I think also being around those kids put me in a bubble of self-doubt of, I would never be able to do this. I don't know why I'm doing this. I'll never be like I'll never be like Nicki. I'll never be like, Beyonce. Like, I really thought that, I would never be like those people because of how these kids made me feel. And trust me, the story gets a lot worse. So, at the time I had girls mainly making fun of me, and that was, they wouldn't really make fun of me. They would laugh at me. They wouldn't let me sit at certain tables. They wouldn't talk to me. They would just give me these weird stares, and I felt alone a lot of the time. Besides at lunchtime when I could go see Angie, when I would be with Angie. So that was pretty cool when I had lunchtime and I could go with Angie, and Angie always stuck up for me too. Angie was taller than me. She's always been taller than me, but so she was like my protector in a way. So if girls too, if they would make fun of me, she'd be like, what's so funny? Is anyone else laughing? Angie would always be like that for me, because I know I'm a pretty tough person, but it's hard when the whole school is laughing at you. Like, there's 100 kids in 8th grade laughing at me, and the only person not laughing would be Angie. So Angie would stick up for me all of the time. And as the school year went on, it wasn't just the girls that were making fun of me. It started to be the boys that were making fun of me, and then it started to be the teachers that were making it hard on me. So if you guys remember Danielle Cohn, I wouldn't say I'm like besties with Danny, but we did hang out when we were younger, and I still keep in contact with her today. She's a really sweet girl, but I was in one of her music videos, the Marilyn Monroe music video. Marilyn Monroe, yeah, I'm a diva, Miss Marilyn Monroe. Okay, so I was in that music video, and the kids found out that I was in that music video. So then I would be walking in the halls going to my locker, and I would just hear, Marilyn Monroe, I saw you in that music video, ha ha ha. And it's like, normally when people see you in something like a music video, or they see you on TV or whatever, people will be like, oh, hey, I saw you on TV, that was so cool. But that's not how middle school treated me. Middle school treated me like I was stupid for being on TV. Literally, quite literally insane. And the only person that was like, damn, I can't believe you were in that, would be Angie. Or, you did that shit, girl, good job. It would literally just be Angie, and that's why she was my best friend. Because no matter what it was, she was always right by my side. She was always supportive of me. She was funny as heck, okay? And then, so yeah, the Danielle Cohn music video came out, and I was just completely getting made fun of. And then it started to hop into the boys who were making it hard for me to go to school. I had this boy that would sit behind me. His name was Bryce. I don't mind saying his name. That's fine. He has a pretty plain name. But his name was Bryce. And he would sit behind me and be like, I can't see past her hair. I have to move because I can't see past her hair. So for a while in middle school, I had to sit in the back of the class, which is you have to remember that Like, if you're older, like around my age, listening to my story that I'm telling you, imagine a 13-year-old being put in the back of her class because of her hair. You guys know what my hair looks like. It is not that big. It's not to the point where you can't see the whiteboard. And the teacher, she moved me to the back of the class, all the way in the corner, in the very back, so the kids could see past my hair. Instead of just telling the boy, you know, shut up, you're dumb, like, what? He literally complained about seeing past my hair. And then I had to, and already I didn't have friends in that class, you know? So I had to sit in the back in the very corner, and it was just tough on me. School has always been tough on me. I never felt like I fitted in. And another problem, I think, with school is teachers don't pay attention. Teachers for sure as hell don't pay attention. They don't see the little things. No, that's a lie. They pay attention, but they don't stick up for kids. I can't tell you how many times I was called certain names, certain racial slurs, and loud enough for everyone to hear and laugh at, but somehow it wasn't loud enough for the teacher to stick up for me. That was a weird time for me. So, you know, I wasn't brought up in racism at all whatsoever. My whole entire family is biracial. I have Mexicans in my family, I have white people in my family, I have black people in my family, I have people who are mixed, I have people who are white and Mexican, people who are white and black, I have people who are all three. We have some Indians in our family. Like, I have a wide, I don't even know how to say it. I just have a biracial family, okay? That's my point. So I never grew up in racism. And the town that I was from, I just never grew up in racism. So coming out to Huntington and being the third black person in my middle school was really hard. There was only 3 of us. I was one of them, Angie was one of them, and there was one in 6th grade. And could you imagine how tough that is, to be completely surrounded by little-minded children who have all been privileged their entire life, white, their entire life. They have this perfect straight hair, and let's say her name was Hines. Miss Hines, I can't see past Alectra's hair. And I got put in the back of the class. And I don't think that was talked about enough. And it was such a little part in my life that I kind of just forgot about it up until now. And school is tough. I'm trying not to cuss as much in these videos, but school is tough as heck. Like, people don't realize that. And I think that it would be a lot easier if kids were just nicer to other kids. And I know that school is probably a sore subject right now, also as with the problems that are going around, because school at the time wasn't completely safe for me. We did have a few lockdowns and a few threats here and there, but you know, we never had a big problem at my school of where, you know, people would come in with certain things. We never had that. But now school has become so unsafe, not only with kids hurting other kids, but the fact that it is so easy to get into a school and to bring something that can harm the entire school. So I'm just saying, be nicer to each other, because you never know what's going to happen. But another thing that happened to me was in 8th grade, Donald Trump got elected president. This also became really hard. So Donald Trump took over Obama's place. And in my eyes of a 13-year-old, you know, I didn't really know much about politics. Of course, I don't think any 13-year-old just sits down and watches politics. But we did do a few projects on them. And because he was so famous at the time, you know, for his tweets and for the things he said about women and for the things he said about colored people, it became a problem in 8th grade. And this is for sure where the system of school failed me. We were supposed to be a non-bullying place, and I got bullied so bad to the point where I had my mom come pick me up early from school, and I sat in the car and I said, "Mama, I don't want to go back. I don't ever want to go back." yeah, I cried in the car for hours, and I was like, Mama, please don't make me go back. And I never told my mom anything of what happened to me. So let's go back to the boy that sat behind me, who was Bryce, and Donald Trump just now became president. I was called the N-word multiple times by this man. Man, this little boy. I was told to go back to my country. I was told that I was a monkey. I was told that I wasn't wanted here. And it's so crazy. I was born here. I was born in America. My whole entire family was born in America. So for this kid to like sit and tell me, go back to your country, you're not wanted here, you N-word, you're a freaking monkey. And, you know, they would like, there was another time where I had a crush on this boy named, I think his name was Vincent. Yeah, his name was Vincent. He was new and he was quiet. So, you know, I like the quiet boys. So, I had a really, really, really fat crush on him, and he was in 2 of my classes. And eventually he found out I had a crush on him. You know how middle school goes. Everyone knows who has a crush on who. Hey, Draco! I'm telling a story. Draco! I'm telling a story. Okay. So he found out that I had a crush on him, and everyone thought that it would be funny to tell him that I had cancer. So a rumor at school went around that I had cancer, and no one wanted to touch me or touch anything that I touched or be around me because they thought cancer was contagious. How dumb do you have to be to think that cancer's I don't even have cancer. And, you know, cancer is such a sore subject for most people. Even my mom survived cancer, so that a different type of cancer that, you know, wasn't too bad, but it was still a scary time for us. So for 13-year-old kids to run around and tell everyone at school that I had cancer and to not touch me and to not touch the things that I touched and to be careful. So kids would come up behind me and like push me and be like, you have cancer. It was tough. There was times where, you know, I would look in the mirror and hate myself for the way that I looked. Like, it was pretty bad. But yeah, and there was another time where I finally stood up for myself because I didn't have Angie around all the time to stand up for me. And at this point in time in life, I wasn't as hard body as I am now. But, you know, I was a 13-year-old little girl. In fact, I wasn't even 13. I was 12. I was 12 in 8th grade, okay? So for a 12-year-old to be told all those things about her, that her hair is too big, so she has to sit in the back of the class, that she's not supposed to be here, she needs to go back to her own country, she has cancer, don't touch her, it's contagious. And for the boys to push me around and for the girls to laugh at me and make fun of me, it was really, really, really fucking hard. And there was a point where I finally stood up for myself, and I went up to the kid that was calling me all of these names, monkey, N-word, and to go back to my country. I went up to him and I just, boom, I slapped him. And he was like, and I didn't say, we both didn't say anything. I just walked away. And I went to go find Angie because I didn't want to be alone. I was like, I can't believe I just hit this kid. Like I kind of felt bad that I hit him, you know, even though he was so mean to me and was calling me all of these names and doing this stuff to me. I felt really, really bad that I hit him, but I hit him, you know. And that, I think that showed everyone that, like, to stop messing with me, like, stop calling me these names. I never cried, you know, at school at least. I never cried at school. I would walk home and I would cry. If I did cry at school, there was one time where I did cry at school, but I went to the bathroom by myself to cry. So, again, I want to be an advocate for kids who can't speak up for it, because I don't talk about it much, but you know, I was bullied. You guys now know the story. I didn't really go into much detail, and I wish that I could, but the way that I tried to block out middle school so well, I can't go into detail. But yeah, I try to block out middle school really well, and I want girls, especially girls like me, curly hair, light-skinned, mixed with, you know, black, white, Hispanic, Indian, Asian, whatever you're mixed with, you know, to ride it out. Ride it out. Because one day, all of those boys who are making fun of you and all of those girls who are making fun of you, they want to be with you, and they want to be like you. They want to be with you and be like you. So don't let that shit tear you down. Seriously. And for the boys that are getting bullied, same shit. Don't let that shit tear you down. And for anyone who is the bully, the only thing I gotta say to you is fuck you. You got a real problem. I don't care if you're a 13-year-old, 12-year-old, or 14-year-old. If you're bullying other people, you have a problem. You have a serious problem. You need to get help. Turn to your parents and tell them that you have a problem and you're making fun of kids at school and you need help. It is not cool to make fun of kids at school. I know this story of a little girl who was getting bullied at school so bad that she brought a knife to school. A knife. I know another kid where I was at school and he brought a knife to school and I didn't tell anyone anything. I was a kid, you know? I saw the knife, but I didn't tell anyone anything. We need to stop. Stop making fun of people. Stop laughing at people for the color of their skin or how their hair looks or whether they can speak proper English or not. I was put in a program to learn how to speak properly because I came from the hood. Okay, now I speak proper. Now I do. I know exactly how to speak proper. But back then, being 12, I guess I had a little hood talk to me. And my school didn't like it. So they put me in a program because to learn how to talk. They put me in a speech program to learn how to talk because I talked too black. Seriously. And the fact that the teachers sat there and they listened and never stuck up for me. It got bad to a point where I almost got into a fight with this girl. I almost did. But remember, the whole school didn't like me. So when I was walking up to this girl, they were throwing things at me. The whole school was. They were throwing things at me. They were throwing things at my head, and it was embarrassing. I was a kid, you know? I mean, shit happens though, so. But it honestly made me into who I am today because I didn't go to school after 8th grade. I begged my mom to let me be homeschooled. I was also missing so much school because I was working, so it was hard to keep up with the whole class because I was rarely there. And then after school, I wouldn't be able to go home and like do my homework. I would have to go home, get ready, and go to LA. So I didn't have much time to even like sit down and do the work that other kids were doing. I didn't have that time. And honestly, I'm so thankful that that stuff did happen to me because now I'm a really strong person. I know how to stick up for myself. And even if it's a boy, regardless of gender, I will wind it up, you know what I'm talking about? Like, because you have to stick up for yourself. And I'm not telling other kids to, you know, to protect yourself, but definitely stand up for yourself. If you see something, you hear something, it's happening to you, don't sit back and let that happen to you. Either, I would say tell, but you might become a snitch. Either tell or fucking stick up for yourself. Make fun of them back, honestly. But don't let them see you sweat, and don't sweat over these kids because it's not worth it. It really isn't worth it. But be kind to one another, be nice to one another, include one another in games, whatever it is. If you see a girl or a boy and they're known as the weird girl or the weird boy and they're sitting alone at lunch, invite them. It changes their whole entire world, and it will change yours too. You do good things come back to you. But don't do a good thing expecting something good to come out of it. Just do those good things because you want to. I was always like that as a kid. I was always nice to the weird people. Those are my people. But I was always nice. I was nice to everyone. There was not a single person that I'd be like, ew. I was never like that. I was always really inclusive. And I know now, after middle school, it taught me a lot to be closed off from people. There's a lot of things that taught me to be closed off from people. I learn a lot every time I get a new friend. But now, as you guys know, my circle is very small. Consists of 3 people: Gavin, Jake, and Dre. So yeah, if middle school taught me anything, it was to stick up for myself, and the kids who hate you then will love you now. Speaking of loving me now, those kids that did bully me and didn't like me, you know, either their little siblings watch me now, or they see me on their For You pages, or whatever it is. They see me, they watch me, they reach out to me, they're like, Alectra, you're doing so good. Do you remember me from middle school? I'm like, don't talk to me. I'm busy. I'm busy doing business things. You know, I'm busy doing business things. I have no time for you. But yeah, it's pretty cool where I'm at now, and I'm really happy that I never stopped, even though the kids from middle school told me that I would never be anything and they would make fun of me, because now I'm living my dream. And now they all love my music and they're playing it. So, and I'm traveling the world, so. Alright, but anyway, so I hope you guys understood my story, because you know I'm all over the place when I tell stories, and I also hope that you guys take away anything from the story. And if you do take anything away from the story, it is to stick up for yourself, stick up for others, and be kind to one another. I don't know how much we have to stress it and how many kids we have to lose until everyone realizes, be kind to one another. And if a teacher is watching this, or your aunt is a teacher, or your mom or dad is a teacher, they have to speak up and they have to notice changes in these kids. You have to. I could have ended up like any one of those kids who brought something to school to hurt other people, but I didn't. I unfortunately kept my mouth shut when I was being hurt because I didn't feel heard. Stand up for each other, stick up for each other, and stick up for yourself, and be kind. I don't know how many times I said it in this video. Be kind to one another, please. I don't want to go through this thing of where I happen to lose one of my cousins from something that happened at school. I don't want to do that. I don't want to hear that. So please, be kind to one another. Be nice. It is not that hard. Whew. Hello.
May I come?
You're gonna paint?
No.
Oh, what's up? Anyway, before I get into tears, thank you guys so much for listening. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications.
Did you tell him he couldn't come in?
No, I didn't say that. I said, are you painting? He said no. Anyway, Gavin just walked in. So I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next story time. Bye!